From mybag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? We've got so much going on. It would be nice if I started by, there's still a problem with YouTube. So it's all right. So everybody. We've got a lot going on. We've got a lot of news. We've got Eric Balkunas of Bloomberg talking about there's about 155 different ETFs out there waiting for approval. And then here comes ProShares saying, hey, we want to launch, a coin. We want to launch a CoinDesk 20 index ETF via derivatives. And I'm sitting back and I'm just going, there's a lot pent up sitting in paperwork in October. And I want you to think about something. For a while, we had been talking about when we thought that they would release, or approve of some of these ETFs. And, we had said October or something like that, whatever. But I had also stated that, hey, my feeling is that, they're purposefully holding on to it. It's almost as if everything's playing out that they were holding on to those things so that when the government shutdown happened and it came out of it, they'd be able to have this huge, market boost with all of these ETF approvals. Guess what? Seems to be shaping up like that. I mean, isn't it? Excuse me. So when you think about this or when you look at this, I'm kind of like, the timing sounds about right. Right? Timing sounds about right, because I'm sitting here, I'm just looking at everything, and I'm just kind of like, you knew the ETF problem was coming. How did you not know? The new regime controls that, right? You had a whale, make money off of certain moves. And I'm just like, wow, imagine if that all played out. Imagine if there was some kind of a, big event that would spur the market. And I'm kind of like, yeah, that could be a thing. That could absolutely wind up being a thing, which is nuts to me, right? So I'm paying attention to what could happen, what might happen, what I believe will happen. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It seems like I'm sending 2 streams. So let me turn one stream off. Turn this one off. There you go. I think there was a delay. They're still working on how this all works. But there's a delay between everything that's going on from my service provider, not my internet service provider, my streaming provider, to YouTube. And they're still working on it. So I'm still battling through the issues that are there, which is, a lot of fun. Gotta tell you, it's a lot of fun. But, we keep it moving, right? That's the whole idea. Can't believe nobody's awake right now. Anyway, we're going to go on with the show. Japan's new PM, Sanai Takaichi. Oh man, I'm brutalizing her name, and I greatly apologize. I don't like messing up people's names because I don't like people calling me out my name. But she's unveiling an inflation-fighting plan with energy subsidies, SME aid, and tech investments. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, she's trying to spur that economy. Her number one focus is spurring that economy. And I'm going to be paying attention to that because there's a lot of investment that goes on between the United States and Japan. And there could be opportunities there. I'm also paying attention to Japan seemingly having a crackdown on, what are they called again? Treasury companies, BTC or Bitcoin treasury companies, or just crypto treasury companies in general. They're also cracking down on crypto hoarders masquerading as investment firms. So yeah, I'm watching what's going on over there in Japan. Something else that I noticed, Microsoft forecasts 230 million digital jobs in Africa via AI and other technologies, stressing the need for unified strategies amid fragmented tech efforts and rising investments. Yeah. That's code for we want to get into Africa so bad. Yeah, that's what that means to me. Zambia and Nigeria lead Africa's digital shift with Bitcoin SV trading tools, open source alliances, and $100 million infrastructure, $100 million for infrastructure projects. Yeah, Africa's not playing, and people are starting to wake up to it. People are starting to wake up to it. And when I look at India, I'm kind of like, so maybe that's why India has been scrambling so much, because the new up and comer is Africa. So that's interesting. And I definitely want to watch that play out, because there's a lot of investment opportunity in Africa, massive investment opportunity in Africa. Another coin that I want to pay attention to that operated in Africa. I'd seen a story like years ago, which is why I fell in love with this particular coin, Stellar. Because Stellar is interested in getting the non-banked people, getting them the ability to transfer value from one another to one another. So yeah, that's something else that I'm paying attention to. So I'm definitely keyed in on that. Another thing that caught my eye. Remember that coin Cadena? Their core founding development team, they all walked off the job. They all said, I'm done. So Cadena has crashed about 60%. I can't imagine it's going to sustain itself. They just said, hey, we're not going to bring it down. It's just going to run itself, but we're not developing on this anymore. And they're saying that it's because of market volatility. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, because of market volatility? What do you mean? Has Cadena not done well, while everything else has done well? I mean, yeah, there's market volatility, but Bitcoin is still above $100,000. Yeah, paying attention. Paying very close attention to this. Something else I'm paying attention to. Ripple XRP gains traction on the Fed's task force with technical momentum suggesting a potential breakthrough in digital finance, meaning they might be in on settlements with the government. That could wind up being a very big deal. Something else I'm paying attention to. Why? Because if you use Ripple, Ripple's price goes up. If you use XRP's price goes up. And that's what we're talking about there. Then you've got TRM Labs reporting U.S. dominance in crypto transactions, but India's grassroots adoption highlights divergent global trends in digital asset use, meaning crypto use is going up around the world. For example, right now, Tether is reporting that about 6% of the world uses Tether. Yeah. So imagine. They hit 500 million users. 500 million users. And I'm just like, that's pretty big. Now, does that really equate to 6% of the world? Not really. I don't think so. But I think the big deal is it's not that it equates to 6% of the world. It's that it kind of equates to that number. But it's more like how many people have multiple accounts and what are those multiple accounts used for? Something else that, I'm dead on just paying attention. Kraken CEO disputes ABA over the American Bankers Association, over stablecoin rates, meaning ABA does not want stablecoins to offer rewards, right? Staking rewards, interest, because that would definitely go up against what banks are all about with you putting your money in a bank. Because it would be like, why would I put money in a bank when I can put money in the stablecoin and make 5% a year? Or whatever amount a year. It's demonstrable. Banks aren't paying out the way they used to way back in the day. Banks haven't paid out anything in like years, like decades. When I say years, I mean like decades. I told you, it went from when I was a kid, they were offering even TVs and toasters and all kinds of stuff if you deposited your money here. What are they doing now? Yeah, no, they're trying to charge you if you blink. If you walk into the bank, they're trying to charge you a fee. I know that's, overkill, drastic. I'm just joking, but still, they charge you for everything. You have to have a minimum balance in order to get free checking. And I want you to think about this. You don't write checks anymore. So back in the day, you had a checking account, you had a savings account. Right now, what's the differentiation? Where's that differentiation? I'm telling you, banks have lost their way. They've lost their minds too, but they've lost their way. What are you talking about? How does that work in your head? I'm telling you, I just look at banks and I just go, there's a lot left to be desired. Just saying. Banks need to define what they do for a living. They really do. Can banks make a comeback? Absolutely. Absolutely. You have banks that are already embracing, the derivative space in crypto. Embracing crypto. And other banks are just snoring at the helm. But they still have to define themselves. What do you bring to the table? What do you do that says I should work with you? That I should give you access to my money? What do you do? What do you provide me? I'm providing you capital so that you can make investments, so that you can make money. I should be getting some of that, and you don't want to give up any of that. Why would I do that? When I can stake my money over here, same thing. People use my money to make money, all that good stuff, but I'm making money. I'm making money. Not to mention, it's not just crypto, it's self-management. So everything that a bank does to go make money, you can do on your own. And instead of getting a little bit of it, you get all of it. And that's something else that banks have to deal with. Self-management of wealth is a growing space. It's not as, mystical as it used to be. Banks would like to think that it's still a mystery as to what they do to manage your money and do this and do that. And yeah, no, it's not as mystical. There are all kinds of free courses out there, all kinds of things where you can learn. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. All kinds of things out there that help you get there from here. And I'm just trying to understand how that works in people's heads. Banks have to define what they bring to the table. They're going to have to prove themselves worthy of the business. The more people wake up, the less they're going to use a bank because a bank isn't doing anything for them. I need to have my money in the bank to pay bills. As soon as those companies make it so that they can accept crypto, I no longer have to keep any money in a bank. I can keep it in crypto and keep making crypto investments and keep making money. Isn't that the idea? I'm pretty sure that's the idea. That's the whole point of it all. Just saying, right? Coinbase and Iron Fish enable private stablecoin transactions on Ethereum's or Coinbase's base layer, right? Using zero knowledge proof, facing regulatory hurdles and privacy debates. Yeah, but they definitely want to launch privacy transactions on Base. I'm just saying, Coinbase is remaining relevant with certain moves, and this could be one of those moves. So we'll see what happens with their deal with Iron Fish. See how that works out. See if that actually gets out there. Then we have a Bitcoin whale bets $234 million against BTC, targeting a $123,000 liquidation price. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be very interesting. They can lose their shirt or they can make a lot of money. I'm wondering if they know something more than I know. 234 million. That's a $234 million bet. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. But you know what we should do? That's right. We should go over the numbers. So let me get my notes out of the way. We'll start down there. Let me pull that. All right. So Dow futures are currently unchanged at 47,135. S&P futures implied open up about 2.25. NASDAQ futures up about 37.50. Oil up about 0.93. US 10-year unchanged at 3.963%. Dow futures just dropped another $4. Big deal. Basically, what those numbers are saying to you, unchanged. They're basically moving laterally. No big news. Nobody's taking really big numbers. Netflix did miss, though, on a non crypto news kind of thing. Who do we have coming out today? Tesla reports their numbers after the bell today. You have International Business Machines, or IBM. Thermo Fisher is one that I want to pay attention to. AT&T is another. Let's see. GE Vernova is one. Boston Scientific, CME Group. Yeah, you've got some Moody's. You've got some big names coming out with numbers today. Pay attention, folks. Pay attention. This could be a make or break day. And I'm wondering about the $234 million Bitcoin short bet. Yeah, no numbers till Friday. The Fear and Greed Index is at 25. It was at 34 yesterday and the day before. We're currently at $149.461 billion in total value locked. You know I like to be over 150. So this is not a great place for me. Not something I'm used to. We've got, let's see, let me bring this over to the middle so you can see what's going on. There you go. We're below, so we hit higher, but we're trading below my green band, which goes from 109.337 to 123.192. We've got to be within this band, preferably the upper half, to gain momentum to bust through and create a new all-time high for Bitcoin. That's what that says. And right now, I can't accurately track the market right now. I can't get a trend line right now. So that's what we're looking for, is where can I see a trend line? And I'm not seeing it right now, not yet. Looking at Coin 360 on the big board, what's interesting to me is, yeah, everything's still on sale. Even Aster went down to $1, so I think my trade might have executed. My trade for Aster might have executed at $1, because I woke up this morning and it was at $1, and I was like, oh. So I haven't checked yet. I will check later. But look, everything that I said yesterday, everything I've been saying, things are on sale. There are whales that are actually accumulating Link. But I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, they must be accumulating Link on the OTC market, because Link is at $17. To me, that's a great price for me to get in. So yeah, no, there are big opportunities here. BNB coin is still above $1,000. Something for people to pay attention to. Looking at this board, let me see something. Where is it? There's Aster at 96 cents. My trade definitely happened. Definitely happened. It's been trading above $1, well above $1 for a while. Am I mad that I'm not getting in on that on that 96 cents? Not really. I'll wait. Now it's just a matter of, will it go up? Aptos at 3.21, $3.21. Get it, 321 go. Yeah, that's interesting to me. I'm into numbers. Bitcoin is at 108.90. Okay. And like I said yesterday, I reported that PayPal's stablecoin surpassed USD1. That to me is a very interesting move. Because I can honestly look at PayPal and I can be like, well, they earned it. They didn't have just one $2 billion deal that transpired. No, they actually earned it. Because if you look at USD1, it's pretty stagnant. It's pretty stagnant. Just saying. Anyway, everybody, this has got to be a short show. I've got to get down to the city today. I've got a lot of stuff going on. I'm hoping that tonight I'll be able to talk about something, maybe even show something. We'll see what happens. The team is still hard at work. But anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Actually, I do want to kind of see if I can bring this up. I just want to see what's going on. I'm probably going to have to log in. That's fine. I don't mind logging in. That's not a big deal to me. There you go. All right, so I didn't have to log in, but I want to take a look at the losers. All right, so Aster is down 10.81% with a GMB X factor of 1.46. And so I am paying attention to that. There has been some negative news on Aster. I'm not so worried. It's still CZ's game over there. So I am paying attention to that. But Mantle is down 6.79% with a GMB X factor of 0.80. Yes, I've got a bag of that too. Let's see, BitTensor. Yeah, you're in my 5% range now that you're looking at all these things. People are freaking out about gold being down 5%. Gold is still above $4,000. So people took some profit, right? I'm not going to worry about that. Let's take a look at the winners. Let's see, anybody that I'm paying attention to. Zcash is moving insanely. I would not be playing that game. I am not playing that game. And then you hit the 5% rule. So out of the top 250 coins out there, most are moving laterally. That's what that says. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes. Tell your friends about this community, because it is a community, not just a channel. We've got more coming. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you for your trust. Greatly appreciated. And I'll fight for it every day. See you tonight on the Crypto Overflow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.